What's up, YouTube? Bam, and welcome to another episode of Wolf King's Vids. Alright, so Armored Christian once again has put out a challenge for atheists. Let's just hear what the challenge is and see what we can analyze about it, shall we? Yes, she's gone.
Hey guys, Brandon, also known as Armoured Christian. I have a challenge to send out to all the atheists on my channel and the ones that are new to my channel, the ones that discover it. Give me one single piece of proof and evidence that leads you to the belief that there is a lack of. To reword that much more simply, give me one argument, one piece of proof, meaning one argument, that leads you to the lack of a belief in a God or gods. Okay?
Yeah, because, you know, the latter is more accurate than the former because you're using a word game there. Well, first off, you're attempting to shift the burden of proof on atheists and try to see, like, you know, what leads them. Well, actually, to be honest with you, it's kind of fair when you ask it in the latter form. Let's just go with that, you know, because the former was kind of nonsensical and bullshit-like. But it was an attempt at shifting the burden of proof. Yeah, but it's the same way of trying to ask for evidence that, you know, the flying spaghetti monster doesn't exist, the invisible pink unicorn, or the flying space teapot. It's better to ask questions like that as opposed to, you know, dishonestly, just so you know. But with my form, it's more of a pragmatic form of atheism in that I live as if there is no, you know, gods or supernatural shit or anything like that, you know. And the reason I think that the reason I have, you know, my atheism, my pragmatic atheism, is a conclusion based on the empirical evidence. Basically, with regard to understanding the universe through like scientific laws and stuff like that, with the history and achievement of scientific progress, for everything that we have an explanation for with regard to like the subatomic and like matter and how that forms, biological and how species, you know, diversify and evolve, and the rest of the cosmos and how they, you know, self-organize and stuff. For everything we have an explanation for, the answer has been a material scientific explanation. Meanwhile, supernatural hypotheses are regarded as not necessarily we know that they're bullshit, but they're sort of irrelevant, if not essential to how we understand the cosmos. So I really don't see a reason to believe in any of that stuff, and that's why, you know, I'm an atheist. It's a result of, you know, my scientific naturalism, apparently. Now, you said in an earlier video that I, you know, dealt with, you know, earlier, you know, on this channel, you said that you didn't need physical evidence for your belief in God because you have your intuition. Now, if you want to say that, that's fine, but at the same time, you can't say you know and then demand from people that detract from you, your detractors, evidence for their position, because that's shifting of the burden of proof. You're basically saying all you have is faith and you don't really have knowledge of this. So to assert that you know this it's a contradiction, it's not accurate at all, and, you know, absent of you actually demonstrating, you know, physical empirical evidence for what you're saying, you know, I don't really feel, you know, obligated to listen to your stuff or even take what you say seriously. So I suggest you actually get some evidence for what you're saying before you could actually, you know, make some relevant point about it, because it is irrelevant, and I feel you know, don't really see any reason to care about it. So basically, my question to you is, why the hell should I care about your faith or your belief in this, you know, invisible deity, whatever the fuck it is? Maybe I'll get a response, maybe I won't. I really don't care. Alright guys, this has been Wolf King. Peace out. If you like this video, you know what to do. Sape aude, sentencia potencia est. And with that, I will say, peace out. Later, bitches.